NBA fans, introducing the NBA Same Game Multi-Tracker. It's here. You've seen it in the AFL. You've seen it in the NRL. Well, it's come to the NBA because we love to bet on the NBA. Our Same Game Multis, previously we've got to switch apps. We're going to look up the stats elsewhere. No longer. It's all housed on the NBA Same Game Multi-Tracker. Follow along with your favourite players on the app in real time. Nowhere else needed to go. Enjoy the NBA. It's going to be a fantastic season.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Downhill, and then the stuff. Porty following up. Ariel Hook Porty smashes it down. He's Golding starting to really cook. Jackson Cartwright pulls up for three. They gave him space and he knocks it down. And we're going upstairs. Stop it. The long pass. Stop it. Back the years.
Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena, where the top of the table Melbourne United set to play host for the New Zealand Breakers in a heritage game where they celebrate the culturally diverse teams not only at Melbourne United but all across the league. New Zealand, South Sudan, even Germany, with Ariel Hook Porty covering all spaces across the globe. But this one is set to be a cracking game. The New Zealand Breakers, well, they have been road warriors. It's 17 days since they have touched home soil, and I'll tell you what, it does not get easy coming to a packed-out John Cain Arena. I'm joined here by none other than the superstar of the NBL, Liam Santamaria. We look at the Mitsubishi Motors standings right here, the parity from top to bottom. The New Zealand Breakers, a few less games in there, but they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they're a very good team. But listen, they've just stepped out of the fire in the NBA and they've hopped straight into the frying pan here in the NBL, because this Melbourne United team is rolling. They're locking teams up, they're playing a fun brand of basketball, and they're getting a whole bunch of wins.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the chefs that'll be just cooking that frying pan up is JLL, Joe Lualatul, who's back in this team. His first game was last time out against Illawarra. 12 points in 15 minutes. Looked to have picked up where he left off a couple of years ago.
So great to have him back. Back in the league for one, and back on the floor for Melbourne United after that wrist injury. But I tell you, Ariel Hook Porty's not going to make it easy for him to get his starting spot back, because the big fella is playing at a very high level.
That's right, Ariel Hook Porty said, Dean Vickerman, don't you forget about me. I'm the starter, I'm the best rebounder in the league, and I'm the reason this team is rated so high defensively. He's been a superstar so far for them.
He really has, and he's coming off a tremendous performance. 21 points, 10 rebounds. He was everywhere, getting steals, blocking shots. We know he's a vertical lob threat over the top. So the Breakers are going to have their hands full at the 5 spot with both of those guys.
He's been absolutely unbelievable. And someone, of course, for the New Zealand Breakers that'd be remiss of us not to mention is Parker Jackson Cartwright. He's been unbelievable so far this season, filling up almost every statistical category you could think of.
Well, we only saw him a couple of times in round 1, round 2, and then they've been over in the States. But, man, wasn't he good? He had 25 against Cairns. He had 20 against Brisbane. He throws a bunch of dimes. And then he went over and played against Portland and Utah and really got some things done. Had 19 points in each of those games. And I tell you, he's Speedy Gonzalez out there on the floor like you're not going to see a quicker guy. And between him and Will McDowell-White, man, they are really tough playmakers at the guard spot.
Well, the Breakers, of course, playing their NBA games as well. Look, it was obviously the results didn't go their way, as somewhat expected, but it wasn't at all something to look down upon.
No, I thought they played pretty well. You know, I liked the way they went about it, and Anthony Lamb, I thought, was a big part of that as well. He's obviously their new guy into the mix. They played him tough. Portland, they didn't make shots. Utah, they had a bad first quarter, but they got going from there. So overall, the scorelines didn't look too good, but they were pretty impressive in those NBA games.
Well, that's the thing, and we're going to touch on it in a moment. Anthony Lamb, very, very impressive from what we saw. Of course, only 25 years old as well. He's someone that they're going to be bringing into this team to hopefully be able to bring some scoring punch, along with their veteran, Thomas Abercrombie, who spoke about this NBA trip earlier.
Yeah, I mean, good experience against some really tough opposition. Good chance for us to come together as a group and bring a new guy into the fold as well. So we're excited to be home, back playing some real meaningful games, and doesn't get any tougher to start off with against United.
Well, on Anthony Lamb there, your thoughts is his scoring prowess going to be something that's going to be that next level up for the Breakers?
I think he's going to be a really, really big performer in this league. Had 23 points against Utah, got things done for Golden State last season. I think people need to realise he's going to be an impact guy in this league.
Well, Liam, make sure those hamstrings are warmed up because you've got to make the run to the in-stadium commentary booth. Joel Peterson, we are set for a cracking contest.
That we are, Felix. Thank you. It's a real blockbuster feel about this one. South East Melbourne star Alan Williams is here with me. You were here last night, saw us a great win for the Phoenix. Really excited about this one today.
Yeah, this is going to be a great matchup to see how New Zealand come back after their NBA experience and trip and see if Melbourne can keep being the great defensive team they've been.
Let's take a look at our starting lineup. So the same starting lineup for Melbourne that they ran with on Friday against Illawarra. Ariel Party gets the start there. And for New Zealand, a new face, Anthony Lamb, into the lineup.
Yeah, this is Anthony Lamb's welcome to the NBL moment here. His versatility should be a really good thing for New Zealand as they move forward in this NBL24 campaign.
So much to look forward to this afternoon. Melbourne United coming on top of the table, winners of their past three. The Breakers haven't played since the 6th of October, 3 weeks ago. They are back, not on home soil, but in the NBL. And it's Shea Ili who'll control the rock off the tip. Melbourne with wins over Perth, Brisbane and Illawarra in their last 3. They can't get it going inside early. Silent Cheatham's provided some highlights early in this season. Goes straight at Travers. It's an up and down start for both teams. Big crowd in here at John Cain Arena. Travers gets inside, can't take it. But Porty fights for the loose ball. Jackson Cartwright comes up with it to a man who I think Breakers fans, Liam, will be very excited to see in Anthony Lamb.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think he brings some poise. Certainly a high level of skill set and experience. There's some poise to this Breakers lineup.
68 NBA games last season for Lamb. And Mathiang spending a bit too long down low.
Yeah, and right there, Mathiang was trying to establish position. He had a mismatch with Goulding guarding him. They couldn't find a way to get the ball in there to him, and he never exited the key.
The #1 rated defense in the competition for Melbourne United against a team that built their game around that end of the floor last year as Ili scoots inside, gets the first of the game.
That's going to be such a fun matchup to watch this afternoon. Parker Jackson Cartwright and Shea Ili making life tough for each other at both ends of the floor.
As you mentioned, with Felix Lamb, PJC looked very at home on the NBA floor as well. He gets inside and draws the foul. He's just so shifty.
And he's incredibly quick. I mean, his turn of speed is phenomenal. I mean, you're not going to see faster anywhere on any floor across the world. So that's going to be tough. You get it, comes across the ball screen here, and then bam, puts the chest on. He goes past the defense, and he's at the rim.
That hesitation just freezes the defender right there, and you're just in no man's land with nothing to do when he's getting to the rack like that.
I didn't know we were getting sound effects out of you today, Liam.
Press the button, make it happen.
Good.
Mody Mayor bringing his team back to the NBL after that prolonged road trip. What kind of effect would that travel have on them, Alan?
Yeah, you know, anytime you're on a plane for 17 hours, there can be a little bit of lethargicness that kind of sets in, and obviously changing the time zones is a difficult thing, but I'm sure they got in a couple of days before here in Melbourne, stayed here rather than going back to Auckland, and so that's definitely going to give them an advantage here playing on this floor in John Cain tonight.
Loose ball here. The Breakers can't work it out. Parker Jackson Cartwright and Mathiang fighting for it. Mathiang goes sliding into the seats.
Oh my, Mody Mayor is furious. The official pointed the wrong way initially, and Mayor thought the Breakers were going to get it. Great defense there from Mathiang jumping out. Felt like it was clearly off the Breakers. Melbourne United ball.
There's a man that brings plenty of passion, Mody Mayor. You know you're going to get that from him. 10 times out of 10. He's got a very different looking New Zealand squad, even to the one that last played in the NBL for a start. Delaney comes back in. He was a game time decision today, but he does come back in.
And that'll be a good injection for him for sure. This is where things do get a little difficult for Mathiang. The first time, hard show, did a good job. Second time there, he's just a little late, picks up the personal. And Mody Mayor likes these guys. We saw it with Derek Pardon big time last year. Likes his bigs to jump out and show at the ball.
He's Goulding in the corner. Trying to start things off in style. It's Melbourne United, multicultural around jerseys. They look absolutely tremendous. Here's Lamb in the corner. Not quite. An early look for the newcomer. Played his college at the University of Vermont. He spent time with Houston, San Antonio, and with Golden State in the NBA. Travers tips it home.
And that's what those two can do for you. Huck Porty and Travers both can be on the rim, both very athletic and long. One misses the shot, the other one follows it up with the tip in.
It's a fascinating position Dean Vickerman finds himself in, with Luala Chul coming back, but Porty playing so well at the moment. The balance that he has to find there will be really interesting.
Yeah,
United forced the turnover.
They're definitely spoiled for choice there at the 5 position. Rob Lowe has also come in as an injury replacement and played really well for them as well. So 3 guys that they can put in at any time and be really effective.
Nice pass from Travers, and Porty hammers it home.
Now that duo you're talking about, Sauce, making life difficult for the breakers around the rim. Travers and Hook Porty having a big impact.
Yeah, definitely one of the better front courts that we have in the NBL.
Travers' ability to move the ball among that big part of it too. Dal White only played the 1 game against Brisbane after sitting out the first game against Cairns with injury. Here he is on the wing. Can't splash that home. Going to be a Melbourne United ball. Here's the Harvey Norman replay of Luke Travers going to work.
Just spins, draws the double, and he just knows Hook Porty's there. He's ready and waiting at the dunker spot next to the rim, and he finds the big fella. And down the other end, they're 0 for 2. They've missed their first couple of looks from long range. The breakers, both good looks, wide open on the arc. They shot just 20% from 3 across those NBL, NBA games, and it really hurt them at the offensive end.
Having shot 42% in their first 2 NBL games against the 2 Queensland teams. Illy drives across the lane. Travers in the corner. Illy recycles the ball. Jackson Cartwright comes flying back the other way.
He is just so quick and so fast. His body control in the air is amazing there. He gets to his 2 feet stop and goes up with a power finish at the rim.
We spoke in the pre-season about his ability to finish for a little man as Golden gets the mid-range jumper to go, and just he's exactly right. His body control, his core strength is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a combination of the speed and, as you described earlier, Joel, the craftiness. He knows where the defense is and how to find the spots to finish. And there's the poise from Lamb I'm talking about. He's never in a rush, and he just has an ability to find his spots, find the gaps, and score at a high level.
He's a big physical presence too. Seeing him up close and personal. Great to be courtside here. It's Clark swoops inside and lays it home.
Lost his shoe. I was wondering what went on there defensively.
Yeah,
he gave up on the play halfway through because he lost one of his kicks.
You see the replay here.
That'll do it, but more importantly, Parker Jackson Cartwright there should be deeper on the nail to take away Clark's drive with his right hand. Clark has done a tremendous job early on in this season of slashing and getting to the basket. So you want to make sure that you have that nail presence there to deter that drive to the basket.
So when you speak of the nail on a basketball court, Sauce, what are you referencing?
It's right there in the middle of the keyway. So at the free throw line, there's a little dot right in the middle of it, and we call it the nail there.
Laney into the game, and he gets tangled up, but it's going to be a jump ball.
Obviously sat out those 2 NBA games, Finn Delaney, as you mentioned, Joel, and they really missed him. You know, he's such an important member of this squad and just adds that extra little bit of depth in that front court, and they're going to need that depth today. Heavy legs, no doubt. Everyone's going to need to make sure that they come in and get some work done.
Jackson Cartwright outside the Lamb, and he just cruises his way inside. Here's Cheatham going baseline, hanging, can't hit. Anytime he gets the ball, the energy level just rises slightly. Commentators and fans, and no doubt the defense as well.
He's a highlight waiting to happen at all times on the floor out there.
Hook Porty down low, he's fouled. So he's an Arizona product as well. I think he's from just outside Phoenix.
No, he's from Phoenix, Arizona, South Phoenix, very close to where I'm from. Grew up seeing him get better and better and better, and getting to train alongside of him this past summer and in summers in the past. And just to be able to see his growth, I think it's a tremendous thing for the NBL to have a player of his caliber to be here, and just excited for his future. I think he can really make a crack at it.
Joel, you should have seen the excitement on Zylan Cheatham's face pre-game when he saw the big fella. And he saw that Sauce was going to be calling the game. It was like two long-lost friends finally reuniting.
That's my guy, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm very excited that he's here in the NBL. It's a great opportunity for him to really show all the tools that he has in this game, from his three-point shot to driving to the basket. And we get a lot of that here in Australia, so it's good for us.
He said pre-season that he was going to be a mismatch at the 5 and a terror at the 4 with Zylan Cheatham.
And I tell you, he can guard 1 through 5 in this league.
Yep.
At time, we've seen him guard Bryce Cotton in pre-season, and then the next moment he's guarding Alexander Sarr and Keanu Pender.
Given that they lost Brantley and Pardon, who was so good at that end of the floor, he does bring that dynamic for Modi Mayor. Loose pass on that occasion. That's not what they needed. He's out there at the moment with Lamb, Liafa, Jackson, Cartwright and Delaney.
And this is going to be a challenge for him defensively. We talk about his versatility, Cheatham. Well, Joe Luala-Chul comes into the game right now. We know how dangerous he is as a scoring threat in that 5 spot.
Golding goes down low to Joe Luala-Chul. He wants to go right into the heart of Lamb, fades away. Can't hit. Bowen's out there for United. Kept it alive, but slapped it out of play. Healthy crowd in here at John Cain Arena this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. A great multicultural round to celebrate the diversity within the city of Melbourne, and also with the Melbourne United squad and club here. So it's a great night.
And they've been really bringing in the numbers over the start of the season. Another 9, nearly 10,000 in the arena today, and just adds to a really strong run of attendances they've had in this building.
6-point lead for United. 6 minutes remaining here in this opening frame. Great to have you with us. First of a Sunday afternoon doubleheader. Jackson Cartwright inside. He's fouled trying to get to his move. Sydney and Tassie coming away later this afternoon. It's an absolute blockbuster. Plenty of famous faces courtside. Darcy Moore, premiership captain of the Collingwood Football Club. He's got the multicultural jersey on.
Hell of a player.
Hell of a captain.
You a Collingwood man, John?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm a Darcy Moore fan, though. I like his style.
Yep.
And I just generally like Darcy Moore.
Son of a gun, too.
It's the hair, right? It's got to be the hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be the hair.
I'm a sucker for a top knot. As far as, especially, you know, just makes them a little bit easier to see out there on a field as well. Couple for United on the offensive end. Benny Lamb's called for the foul. He's another one making that adjustment to the way that the NBL game's called, Sauce.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the officiating here is different than other places in the world, and so it's going to take a little bit of that adjustment coming from the NBA into the NBL. They'll have to learn pretty quickly.
What's the biggest difference, Sauce? Is it they call more or they call less?
I think they call more. You know what I'm saying? I think that the fact that you can't be as physical at times, and I know although we're seeing some hands go flying there, I just feel like they do a good job of establishing that the contact level isn't going to be super high at the beginning of the game, and it kind of works throughout the game as it goes. And so.
Tanner Krebs called for steps. Great to have the insight of Southeast Melbourne star Alan Williams with us here courtside at John Cain Arena this afternoon. 12-8, Melbourne United lead the New Zealand Breakers. Breakers, we know that they come with some championship pedigree after last season. Are they going to have to do it differently this year, Liam, if they're to get to that level again, just with the makeup of the team being different?
No, not necessarily. I mean, you know, maybe some different X's and O's at times in terms of how you make the most of guys like Parker Jackson Cartwright and Zylan Cheatham as BJC gets to the rim. Can't finish, but I think the general philosophy were the same. Defend at a very high level, get the ball through hands, and make sure everyone's involved.
Here's Joe Luala-Chul getting inside. And it's a welcome back to JCA for JLA.
That's going to be trouble to have to defend throughout this NBL campaign. Him coming downhill with the in-and-out move, going to the left hand and finishing back with the right. Amazing to see it.
Not going to be many that want a piece of that. Delaney gets Bowen in the air, drives inside, pushes through his chest.
Jeez. looked like an offensive foul to me. Dean Vickerman feels similarly. He's got his assistants having a look. Watch the left arm here of Delaney as he tries to create space right here. The extension and timeout called from Vickerman. He's going to challenge, so keep an eye right here. The extension there, pushing off. Melbourne United feel that should be an offensive foul.
Dean Vickerman gesturing as such to the referees at the moment. Rather clearly, so 2:38 remaining in this opening term. United lead by 6. Shot 50% through the opening 7.5 minutes. Breakers shooting at only 2 of 9, so a bit of a slow start for New Zealand.
And that's what Melbourne does defensively. They're so long, they use their length. If we watch the coach's challenge here, yeah, I think you're right, Liam. I think the push off there at the very end is what kind of got it there.
But you mentioned it was at the very end. That'll be the question here for the guys in the replay center and girls that are reviewing. Do they feel like the foul happened from Bowen before the push off?
Yeah.
That's what they'll be deciding right now. That's where I would say, if I was Dean Vickerman, did you call a blocking foul? If you called a block, then we know you're saying it was at the end and this could get flipped. If you called a hands foul, then you're probably saying that the contact happened early.
I know typically anytime you get that rise up on that pump fake from Bowden there, he had a hand on as he was driving to the basket, and maybe that's what the officials saw.
I'm getting word that they...
Coach's challenge is successful. The foul has been cancelled. We will restart with a jump ball in the centre circle.
Vaughan Mabry, Ken Widgeon and Alex McEwen, our refereeing crew this afternoon.
Okay, I'm a little confused by that one. I'll be honest. I was getting word that they called a pushing foul on Kyle Bowen, not a blocking foul. So now it's been overturned. If it was a blocking foul, you'd think it'd get overturned into an offensive foul. Instead, it's going to tip off in the middle. So
would that be because the pushing foul may have occurred before the offensive foul would have?
But if the pushing foul occurred first, then that should still stand.
Yep.
So I'm not sure exactly how that ended up playing out.
So it'll be Travers and Cheatham to tip it up. Breakers take possession. Will McDowell-White. Great to see him back in this lineup. Such a great season last year for New Zealand. A focal point of their offense. Tried to offload it to Delaney. Krebs kept it alive. Quinn Cameron. There's plenty of New Zealand basketball history there as Luala Chul turns inside, cops Abercrombie.
Yeah, just a great job there by New Zealand of just fighting and fighting. And McDowell-White trying to get over and gets a hand on the ball, and Abercrombie takes the hit and takes the elbow to the face and gets the charge call on that play.
I was talking to Mody Mayor pre-game. I said, how do you avoid getting bogged down by this Melbourne United team? And he said, if they get stops on us, we got to get stops on them. You can't let it turn into a run where they just completely keep you in the half court and they get out and have some fun, because they can't finish over the top. So a real focus, not just on their half court offensive execution, but what they're doing defensively themselves.
Cheatham just about pulled that one down from the rafters, just couldn't finish, and then Travers with a little bit of a loose ball fumble.
There we go, ball here. And great hustle there by Cheatham to get back into the play. Let McDowell-White know that, hey, I'm getting back, I'm getting back, I'm getting back, get mine, get mine. And it caused confusion for United there and got the turnover.
And the coaching battle this afternoon, too, between Vickerman and Mayor as Delaney's fouled. I mean, that's fascinating. Two of the best going at it in the business.
No doubt about it. Obviously, Mody Mayor, there's Danny Minogue, one of the many, many celebs in the house. Big, big Melbourne United fan. Here, game in, game out. There she is. Sees herself on the big screen.
Got to get the clapper when you're at the basketball, don't you?
For sure. I like that from Finn Delaney down low, fellas. Luke Travers, he's got a little length and size on Delaney. Delaney's so much stronger. So he seals him up under the bucket, gets himself to the free throw line.
And that point you made, Liam, there to seal him up underneath the basket. Now, typically with a cross screen, you're trying to get across the lane and catch it on the block, but he knows that his size and strength is the real advantage. So catch that thing as close to the basket as you possibly can and draw the foul.
Delaney gets a couple to fall. It's perfect from the line on the season. Lualachul rolls inside. Again, he's so hard to stop.
Just not quick enough on the recover. Silent Cheatham. And Joe Lualachul, he can, everyone else on the floor, he's going to have a very easy time finishing over the top of.
McDowell White inside. Golding tipped that one away and then has a little bit of a look to say, oh, that was close. Had a read on that one. Cody Mayor making his feelings clear as always. Minute to go in this opening frame. McDowell White inside. Cheatham pulls it down. Liafa for three. Yes.
And that's where Zylan Cheatham's effectiveness really comes into the play there. He went straight up and got that offensive rebound. Found McDowell White, who then found Isaiah Liafa for the three-point shot.
Travers gets inside, absorbs some contact. Zylan Cheatham wanted to walk. That being a foul on Delaney.
Heads-up play from Cheatham. Yeah, he got the rebound, but Lualachul's a shot blocker. And he knew he was going to have a tough time, so he kicked it back out. And here, yeah, a little bit of happy feet from Luke Travers. Timeout called from Mody Mayor, and he's now challenging that call. So the challenges are coming thick and fast here in the opening term.
Been a challenging opening quarter. 16-13. Both out on the court and for the coaches roaming the sidelines.
Their initial issue with that call was they felt like it should have been a travel, but that's not challengeable. They can't cancel this foul and turn it into a travel. So now they're trying to challenge whether or not a foul actually took place.
And if we look at the replay, we saw Delaney's hands were pretty much all over Travers on that shot attempt. And so you look at the replay here, good bounce fast. Travers takes his time and does a little Melbourne two-step, but there is definitely contact on the arms there from Delaney. So
it was a hands foul called on Delaney. Oh, jeez. Is there?
On the
initially
right there, on that wrap up.
Yeah.
Stretcher challenge is unsuccessful. All the floor stands. We have 2 shots to Melbourne United.
With some intent, Vaughan Mabry, that one.
He's staring not just into the camera, but
into my soul.
Each of our souls.
I'm not going to fall foul of Vaughan Mabry anytime soon. That's for sure. So unsuccessful, the coach's challenge for Mody Mayor. And he's still a little bit frustrated about things, having a chat to Vaughan Mabry. United by 3. 49 seconds remaining in this opening term. Joel Peterson, Liam Santa Maria. Great to have South East Melbourne star Alan Williams with us. Felix von Hoff courtside this afternoon. The Sunday afternoon doubleheader. Sydney and Tassie coming up later on. Big kia ora to all our friends watching on Sky Sport over in New Zealand as well. Great to have the Breakers back in the thick of the NBL action. 1-1 through their opening 2 games. And returning here to John Cain Arena this afternoon. Luke Travers to the line.
A couple of Kiwis on this Melbourne United squad playing against, well, in Shea Illy's case, his former team, Flynn Cameron, of course, son of a legend of New Zealand basketball, Pero, FIBA Hall of Famer.
Shea Illy and Jose Liafa were having a great old chat pre-game. 5 or 6 minutes, and Flynn Cameron's warm-up. There's a lot of players that are just getting around and getting a few shots up and that kind of thing, but Flynn Cameron was really getting a sweat up.
It was interesting hearing Cameron speak during the week about, you know, obviously he's got Kiwi heritage and he, you know, feels like a Kiwi, but grew up mostly here in Australia, you know, up in Queensland with his family, and just the challenges of then going back and playing for junior national teams for New Zealand, and then ultimately with the Tall Blacks. So it's kind of fitting that the multicultural game for him is against his the New Zealand Breakers.
Said he used to go and play for New Zealand junior sides, and they'd say, wait a minute, he's an Aussie.
And there we go, early on in the game. Hungry Jack's free cheeseburgers. We got cheesy there.
Code word is steal. Jump on the Hungry Jack's app, click the banner, enter the code word, and you can get a free cheeseburger. So there you go. It's, you know, lunchtime on a Sunday. A lot of hungry people in the building and around the state.
Pick one up on the trip home, Sauce?
I might have to get one. It's my cheat day on a Sunday, so
Yes,
I might
sir.
have to go grab a
I
Hungry
think you
Jack's.
earned one last night.
Thank you, Isaiah
Absolutely.
Liafa, for that. Thank you very much.
Giving mood, Isaiah Liafa. He has struggled with his shot at the start of the season. Hadn't had free throws on the year before tonight, actually. So it might be a little bit green, but only 2 of 9 from downtown. Shot it at 4 of 7 against Utah in the second of those 2 NBA games, Liafa, but he's just still finding his rhythm.
Meanwhile, nice contribution from Luke Travers here in this first quarter. His typical versatile production, 6 points, a board, an assist, a steal. He's been active.
Well, he gave us a look at that opening night, didn't he? He was absolutely tremendous here against the Phoenix. Now he can do a little bit of everything. Such a big part of his game. So 7 points to spread. Time and ask for a couple of possessions here before we get to quarter time. Gilly playing some up-and-in defence on Jackson Cartwright. Top of the table, Melbourne United. The Breakers, one of the big challenges this season. Jackson Cartwright lets time wind down, gets to the free throw line, tries to float it home and can't. And Illy will get a look before quarter time. Puts up the prayer. It's answered! Shea Illy beats the quarter time buzzer in style. Wow.
Just amazing the way to finish the quarter there, Liam and Joel.
What poise from Shea Illy. The rebound from Travers, the outlet pass, and you see him looking at the clock.
Yep.
Knew exactly how much time was expiring and beat the buzzer.
23-13, and United end it in a big way the opening term. What a way to end the opening quarter here. John Cain Arena, a blockbuster Sunday afternoon. A couple of big Mitsubishi Motors threes in that opening period. Isaiah Liafa with one for the Breakers before Shea Illy beats the buzzer at quarter time to get Melbourne United a 10-point lead. Great to have Mitsubishi Motors back this season and celebrating plenty of threes like that in stadium with the Mitsubishi Motors three-pointer foam hands and a range of prizes up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. 23-13, the Melbourne United lead. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria and South East Melbourne star Alan Williams with you. They kept it close for the most part of that opening quarter. It just got away from them at the end, Liam.
Yeah, it did, and it was a fun way to finish the quarter for Melbourne with Illy from long range. But the reality is they did most of their damage around the bucket as Krebs shoots late in the shot clock.
Breakers out and running. Here's Cheatham getting all the way up the other end. He wanted a call, won't get it.
Yeah, that was 7 from 11 source. Melbourne United from 2-point territory in that opening turn.
And that just goes to show you how they want to beat you. They want to beat you on the defensive end, and they want to beat you in the paint. Obviously, Golden gives them a lot of spacing out there, but they use their length really well. JLA got himself going there early. And so a really good combination for success there.
So again, Porty that time spending a little bit too much time inside. A couple of those in the early stages. What would Modi Mayor's message have been at quarter time?
He just settled down a little. It was actually just some missed really good opportunities offensively, I thought, that got away from them. I didn't see a lot of breakdowns defensively, but just opportunities gone begging as they shot 3 for 13 from the field.
One thing you probably couldn't say about them in that opening team, they don't look flat. There's enough energy out there for the Breakers, just a matter of execution.
Yeah, I think there's a matter of execution there, but also, too, I think they got to start taking advantages of the mismatches they're getting. They're getting too stagnant and stuck on trying to get the ball on the block. Use your pace, use your size, and use your athletic ability to get downhill and get the basket.
Awkward fall there for Shea Illy. Another new face for the New Zealand Breakers into the game. The 21-year-old next star from Lithuania, Mantas Rubstavicius. Getting our first look at the talented lefty from Lithuania as Travers takes it all the way in. And did he get the call? He didn't in the end. Dean Vickerman wanted it. Bit of interference on the hoop.
Yeah, contact on the net as he finished that play. But Luke Travers is doing work. Just blasting by the defense right there. He's the game-leading scorer with 8 points and contributing right across the box score.
What can we expect from Rubstavicius, Liam? We'll get back to it in a moment as Travers takes it away, runs the floor and lays it in. That time he does get the call.
Liam, Travers is doing work, man. Oh, my goodness. As we see the Harvey Norman replay here, gets the steals, looks ahead, goes across the basket and finishes with the right hand, taking the contact. This is what he does. He plays defense, he plays offense, he moves the ball, he rebounds, he blocks shots, he just does everything for Melbourne United.
And this is when Luke Travers is fun, when the idea of Luke Travers becomes the reality.
Absolutely.
And what he can do in terms of cleaning the glass and getting in the lanes and obviously getting to the rim like this when he's inserting his will on the ball game and doing it all on a regular basis.
This is the bonus, gives Melbourne United game-high 12-point lead. Dal White out there with Cheatham, Pinot, Liafa and Jackson Cartwright. Cheatham forces his way inside. Can't hit.
He could take from Cheatham. Just lulled the defense, Luke Travers, into thinking the dribble handoff was coming and then crossed him over right to left. And I tell you, that was a very short stint for Mantas Rubstavicius. Modi Mayor with the quick hook.
That it was. What type of player is he, Mantas Rubstavicius?
He's a scorer. 6'7", has really good positional size on the wing, and he's a lefty who can really score in a variety of ways. You know, he can shoot the ball from long range, leading scorer at the 2022 Under-20 Euros. But he can also attack the rim, and you would have seen that in that game against Utah. He's relentless in putting it on the deck and getting to the cup.
From a place in Lithuania called Panevesis. So it's a town of about 85, just over 85,000 people. It's sort of an hour northwest of the capital of Lithuania in Vilnius. So he played a little bit of college basketball, or played a little bit of basketball within Lithuania, and then played most recently for that club, and he played a really big role in them going to Euro Cup and a lot of basketball against grown men in competition.
Oh yeah, big time. So he's in that Zalgiris system for a bit. Then he was with Lid Kabalis last year and played really well. Euro Cup, but also in the in the Lithuanian League. Put up some good performances against Žalgiris in the semi-final series.
So I actually had an opportunity to play against Lekabelis when I was playing in Russia, and they are a really hard-nosed club that has a lot of versatility. As we see Zylan Cheatham there knocking down the corner three, an element of his game he really wanted to highlight here playing in the NBL. He works on it all the time in the summer, and to be able to show it in this league is a big thing for him.
Shooting 3 of 6 so far on threes this season. Just his third game, of course, but he can stroke it. Here's Illy in the corner, just rises over the top of Jackson Cartwright. McDowell White drags it down for the Breakers. You do a little bit of everything, Will McDowell White, including crafty finishes like that.
Good timeout from Dean Vickerman, because you don't want Will McDowell White to start feeling himself. A little bit of a hesitation as he comes off the ball screen, freezes the defense, and then Big Sauce floats it over the top.
As we see here, Zylan Cheatham knocking down that three-point shot. And then here, Will McDowell White, patient, probe, get it over the top of the big fella for a right-hand finish. He's one of the best going downhill in the competition, for sure.
So, 5-point lead for Melbourne United. 27-22. Parker Jackson Cartwright, 6 points in the early stage. He's been such a spark plug for New Zealand. Caught up with him pre-season and talked about just what kind of player and person he is.
My name is Parker Jackson Cartwright. I'm from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. I have 2 elder siblings, and I'm a cool guy. NBL fans can expect just a rowdy, intense, passionate player with a chip on his shoulder. Just not gonna back down, just gonna play with an intense, freedom and a fun guy that likes to be creative out there. So I hope to bring a lot to NBL fans.
Parker Jackson Cartwright, he reckons he's a pretty cool guy. Joel Peterson with a couple of cool guys. I think I'm in good company here to call you guys cool guys. Alan Williams and Liam Tanmaria. He's added plenty to this Breakers dynamic early, gents.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think just his ball pressure up the court, obviously we get to see his speed all the time in his game, but I just think his ability to play with others and understand spacing is really big for this Breakers team.
You said you hadn't played with him, Sauce, but you have followed his career?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the top players in the nation as we see Shea Illy getting downhill. Beautiful move. Beautiful move and beautiful use of strength there from Shea Illy. But Parker Jackson Cartwright was the #1 player in the nation at one point when he was growing up, and a documentary had come out and kind of showed his rise and almost seemingly fall at that point. But he stayed persistent, continued to work, never gave up, had a good career at the University of Arizona, went on to play in Europe, had some success there, and now we're getting to see it in full fold here in the NBL. And boy, we are surely excited about what he has.
Yeah, and I tell you, over the history of the NBL, undersized, speedy, highly skilled, talented point guards can have a whole bunch of success here. You go back as Will Quaddy operates down low, draws the foul. He's going to the free throw line. Go back to some of the greats like Cal Bruton way back in the day, and then in more recent times, guys like Casper Ware and Jerome Randall. Like maybe you're a little undersized, and as a result, the NBA overlook what you can get done on the floor. But in this league, those kind of guys can be really highly productive.
Some real shiftiness among those names. Handing the football off to them, running back style, and letting them go to work, make a few cuts. 40. Just a couple at the line. Cheatham keeps that alive and gets acquainted with some of the Melbourne United fans. Here he is coming downhill. McDowell White offloads to Cheatham. Underneath to Pinot, blocked by Travers. Called for the foul. It looked pretty clean. Dean Vickerman can't believe it.
So the foul was called on Ian Clark, as it turns out. Travers got it clean over the top. Here's the pass to Pinot. Clark with the contact underneath.
But what led to that play is the dynamic downhill dribble handoff action that New Zealand like to use with Cheatham there at the 4 and the 5. Coming off that thing with Will McDowell White, on a single side where it's empty is just trouble for the defense.
And as soon as they see Cheatham outside the three-point line and he's coming at them, it's going to be scramble time.
Absolutely, and then Dane Pinot does a great job of relocating for that easy dump-off pass there.
Just a 1 of 2 at the line. 6-point ball game with 6 minutes remaining here in this second period. Great to have you with us. First of a Sunday afternoon doubleheader. Travers rises up over Liafa.
Geez, that's tough. The touch from Travers. Gets the mismatch, tries to really overpower Liafa, who's very strong down there, and he goes to the turnaround.
Keeps adding and adding to his game, does Luke Travers. DJC off to Cheatham. Leans into one from the free throw line, pulls down his own miss, puts it back up. Pinot gets the offensive rebound. Out to Liafa. Cheatham's there again. Underneath to Jackson Cartwright.
Activity, activity, activity. 3 offensive rebounds there from the Breakers. 2 from Zylan and 1 from Dane Pinot. Just active on that offensive glass, and it's tough to keep him off.
Swatted by McDowell White. Joe Luala-Chul getting set to check into the game.
He probably was coming in at around this time anyway, Joe Lual, but when Cheatham just is dominating the offensive glass like that and Hook Porty can't finish the play, Vickerman goes straight to that substitution.
So 12 early for Travers, 8 for Jackson Cartwright. Hope Cole Bowen coming across to the scorer's table didn't think we were going to be able to sub him in then. Here's Isaiah Liafa, who can't hit. He's fouled on the way through.
He called a sub through you.
He was sort of looking at us going, can I get a sub? And I'm thinking, no, Kyle, I can't help you out in that department.
You're very powerful around here.
I don't know
Joel.
about that. The man to my left might be a little bit more powerful than I. He was out here celebrating, rocking the baby last night a couple of times, Liam.
Oh, hold on. You didn't rock the baby on my man.
I may or may not have. But no, it was a lot of fun in here last night, and it's great to see that the game of basketball is really growing, and the NBL is at an amazing point with all these people here in the stands today, so it's great.
Did you give them more celebrations than Trenton Flowers did in that fourth quarter or less?
I gave a lot of celebrations yesterday. I was deep in my celebration bag for sure.
He even hit a three-pointer last night, which was something very special. Luala-Chul inside working on Pinot. And he likes that move.
Just loosens the shoulders up a little.
I don't think we got that last night from Source. I don't think we got that one.
Didn't get that, but right here, JLA, I'll say, goes down, post up, looking to see if there's a double possibly coming, and just takes whatever he wants. Right there, his positioning is just perfect. Right inside the key, and at that point, it's nothing you can do with him.
Let's not forget, all NBL first team 2 seasons ago, MVP candidate Joe Luala-Chul. So bringing him back into this lineup over the off-season, first and foremost, but then here in round 4 after missing the early rounds, a massive injection for a team that's already top of the table.
No average Joe coming into this Melbourne United team. Here's Cheatham outside to Lamb. Bang!
Hasn't had a huge impact in this first half, Anthony Lamb, but he's always ready to make a play.
It's his first 3 in the NBL. Shot it at 37% in the last NBA season. Krebs has a go from the corner, and that one's going back to the team in those striking pink jerseys this afternoon, the New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah, just a little bit over touchy there from JLA, and he and Dane were caught up a little bit in a tangle there, and I think that he overextended his arm, and that's what caused the referees to call that offensive foul.
Walid Ali sitting courtside. Great to have him as part of the action this afternoon.
That's my man Logan Moody, part of the broadcast team behind the scenes over the years.
Cheatham off to Liafa. The back iron comes way to Clark. 5-point ball game. 3:43 remaining in this period. Golding thought about it. You can think about it from anywhere on the floor. Underneath, Newley's left all alone. Cheatham came across to crash the rim, but they'll count.
Mody Mayor's losing his biscuits on the sidelines. Knows the defense needs to be on point against all this talent that Melbourne United has on the floor, and the rotation was early and on point from Liafa, but then the secondary rotation source was a moment too late.
Just a step behind there, and against this great Melbourne United team, you can't be a step behind. Otherwise, they'll make you pay for it.
Lamb spinning inside. Foul on the floor. What impresses you as an observer from the way this Melbourne United team plays, Alan?
Yeah, I think that the main thing for me is just their continuity with their defense. They always seem to be on the same page defensively, and that allows them to really pack it in, use their length, create opportunities for fast breaks, create difficult shots for the offensive team, and then it just leads to their fast break, and they're one of the best fast break teams that we have in the league.
Do you think a lot of that comes from the work they do off-season during the week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think early on in this year, in this NBL24 campaign, you started seeing the post of the United guys being in there and playing 5-on-5 pickup with some of the Boomer people that were coming in and playing. And that kind of stuff early on in the season can really help to build your defensive identity and your chemistry on the floor.
Great to have the insights of Southeast Melbourne star, double-double machine. Alan Williams with us this afternoon. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria with you in commentary. Felix von Hoff with us courtside. And Clark shakes Parker Jackson Cartwright out of his boots.
They can just keep coming at you in all different directions. Melbourne United. Golding has the seat, and Ian Clark steps up and ticks it over from long range.
Another with NBA experience, title under his belt at that level is Ian Clark. Jackson Cartwright getting all the way inside.
So crafty there, just such good balance to get JLA up in the air and finish around him there.
Bag of tricks might actually be bigger than he is. Jackson Cartwright. Clark from way downtown. That one went higher than your three-point attempt last night.
Maybe a little bit of a heat check there from Clark.
McDowell White bringing the ball up the floor. Here's some of what Ian Clark can bring to the table.
Little extension of the arm, and then completely wrong-footed Jackson Cartwright, and had all the time in the world to line that thing up and knock it down.
Luala Chul out there at the moment with Newley, Clark, Travers and Illy. For United, Jackson Cartwright, McDowell White, Pinot, Lamb and Cheatham for the Breakers. Looking to eat into a 6-point margin. You know that Pinot can keep it alive on the offensive end. He does it there. You can hear Mody Mayor saying to Will McDowell White, another one, good job.
Yeah, the touch just not quite there for McDowell White. 1 from 4 from the field. That floater is his go-to shot. He's had a little bit of trouble with it in recent times.
Lamb cutting baseline. Pinot! Beautiful chemistry with McDowell White.
And it's the threat of the floater that allows him to make those passes. Because as you'd know, Source, Pinot sends that one away at the rim. And Jackson Cartwright sets up Cheatham.
Hammers it home, and Dean Vickerman has seen enough. Timeout, Melbourne. 2-point lead. And the Breakers are rolling back into this game.
Now we're starting to see the identity of this New Zealand Breaker team with the versatility from the wings there. Here's Will McDowell White coming off the ball screen. Like you said, Liam, that threat of the floater creates an opportunity for Dane Pinot. And here, Dane gets up and blocks a shot off the backboard, and they're back in transition. PJC with a beautiful pass to Zylan Cheatham for the dunk.
Just quietly, some really good minutes from Dane Pinot off the bench here at both ends of the floor.
He's been important. He spent a lot of time in this building. Melbourne United by 2, 39-37. Joe Luala Chul, such a big part of what they bring to the table, such a big part of multicultural round as well for Melbourne United. He caught up with Felix von Hoff pre-game.
Big JLO, mate, 12 points in 15 minutes against Illawarra last game. You look to have picked up right where you left off.
Yeah, it was a good game to kind of get my legs under me a little bit. I understand it's going to be a little bit of a process to get back into like full match fitness. Yeah, but we won. That was the main thing, so yeah.
On that, getting back to match fitness, how long do you reckon until you're feeling like you're truly 100%?
I think when that happens, you guys will know.
Nice. I reckon the whole league will know. The multicultural round is one that Melbourne United said that you penciled on the schedule that you wanted to be back for. How much does this one mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I get to come here and represent my culture, my people. So yeah, it's something I'm very passionate about and I hold dear to my heart. So I'm excited about today.
Joe Lualachul, of course, of South Sudanese descent, born in South Sudan, moved to Uganda before then moving to Perth with his family, one of a number of South Sudanese players out there today, and a big part of why, the genesis of this multicultural round, and of course, a round that means a lot to him and a jersey that means a lot to them too, Liam.
Yeah, for sure. You can see on the back of their jerseys, all the Melbourne United guys have got the flag of, or even multiple flags, recognising their heritage. You hear Joe Wild talking about it there, and you can just hear that he's genuine, right? Like when he says it's a game that means a lot to me, he's genuine about it. As Cheatham finishes over the front of the rim, would have represented South Sudan at the FIBA World Cup had he not got injured. Big South Sudanese community here in Melbourne.
4 buckets in a row for the Breakers. Here they are on the fast break. Cheatham swoops inside, New Zealand in front.
Cheatham is literally getting whatever he wants right now at the basket. He looks like he's really locked in. Speaking with him before the game, he said, I'm ready to go and ready to play. And we're seeing it here today.
13, 5 and 3 for Zylan Cheatham in the early going. Just about on triple-double watch. Golding the look away pass to Travers. Splashes it in from outside.
This is a fun ball game. As we wind down towards the end of the first half, this has been very fun to watch. Two very high-level teams going at it early in the season.
Anthony Lamb thought about it as well. Had it knocked away. Regathered the rock. Takes it inside at Lualachul and gets it to go off the glass.
He's so sturdy built that he's able to keep the length of JLA away from him on that finish. It's great to see him be in the league and really use his versatility here for the Breakers.
Shea Illy beat the buzzer at quarter time. Can they conjure up something again? They'll go back to that man. Illy once more. Oh, he got it in, but it's waved off. The bucket's waved off. Illy can't beat the halftime buzzer. They're going to have a look to see whether that'll count. And Shea Illy, time winding down, and it expires before he can get that one off. But at half-time is a 1-point New Zealand Breakers lead, 43-42. Let's go down to Felix von Hoff.
Yeah, I'm here with the player of the first half by a mile here, Parker Jackson-Cartwright. Mate, Melbourne United built a lead and you just chipped in and you're heading in with the lead.
Yeah, we're just competing. You know, Melbourne United, they're strong. You know, they're physical. They really run their sets. So, you know, we got down, but we got to stay tough, stay gritty, and, you know, we came together with our defense.
You've been 17 days on the road in America, back here now. How are the legs going to be feeling in the second half?
I mean, you know, you can draw your own conclusions. You know, no excuses. You know, you have to come out and play really tough basketball.
And Luke Travers, the sticking point for United at the moment, 15 at the half. What's going in? What's going to happen to stopping him in the second?
We just got to try to break his rhythm a little bit, make it tough on him, make him get rid of the basketball, and when he gets it, you know, really fire on him and try to make him make tough shots.
Perfect. Good luck in the second half.
Parker Jackson-Cartwright with Felix von Hoff, the flavour and the colour of multicultural round here at John Cain Arena, celebrating the diverse backgrounds of not only the players, but this great city here in Melbourne. And it's been a really entertaining start. New Zealand by 1 at the half.
Just the shot type for Travers, yeah. Any Parker Jackson Cartwright talk?
You won't hear Felix's mic. You won't hear your mic. You won't hear Liam's.
Okay.
I'm Ian Clark. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I can remember younger days growing up with my older brother, playing outside, playing basketball, bringing our goals to the curb and playing in the street, stuff like that. It was good. Him, my older cousins, we had a ritual on Sundays. We would always play after church. My older brother, he's 6 years older than me, so at the time, obviously he was way bigger, but it kind of roughed me up, toughened me up a little bit. And he kind of paved the way for me to be where I am now. I love, hot wings, barbecue. Kind of changed my diet a little bit, so I don't eat as much as I used to, but I still get it when I go back home. But just the culture and the vibe back home, it's so unique, from the way we dance to the way we talk, our slang. All of that I definitely miss when I'm abroad. So I make sure, especially when I get back from being overseas or wherever I've been playing, that I get a nice stint back at home just to be with my family, but to get that vibe again. Yeah, my mom cooked every week, almost every day. Have the kitchen smelling good when we come back home from church or we come back home from school and everything. So I definitely miss that. Shout out to my mom, I love you. Love her cooking as well. Her mac and cheese probably sticks out. I haven't had better mac and cheese than anybody else with my mom. Being able to go to China and play there and experience their culture, and then come to Australia. There's only two abroad places I've been, but obviously they're two different, but they're unique in their own way. But just being able to indulge in that and to say that I've been there and I've experienced it has been pretty cool. Being able to learn from different cultures, even from my teammates as well. Guys are from all over the world, so being able to learn how they grew up and learn how they do certain things or certain foods that they eat, I'm open to it all. It's been great. Obviously, basketball is unique. It brings people together, unity. And I think that if people can see that, their culture is being embraced, I think it's great, and it brings more fans to the game, and it obviously helps us as a club.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where it's a slim 1-point lead for the New Zealand Breakers, who travelled by a decent margin for a majority of that first half. Liam Santamaria, of course, joining me, and Alan Williams, none other than the superstar himself. The Breakers just came from nothing there to lead at the half.
Yeah, down by 12 early in that second quarter. Melbourne led for 17 minutes of those 20 first half minutes, but a massive turnaround from the Breakers. 30-point second quarter for the Breakers, and now they lead by 1.
Well, here, have a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights right now. Alan Williams, Luke Travers, boy, was special in that first half.
Man, he sure does everything for this United front. He's able to move the ball on offense. He's able to defend on defense, and finding his running mate Ariel Horporty there as well a lot in this first half.
Horporty special as well. And on the Melbourne United side of the equation, of course, Travers, I went and said Parker Jackson Cartwright was the best player of the half by a mile. Maybe I jumped the gun there, because you look at some of these shots, that's where, if he's going to be wanting to take that next step, that's what he wants to do. And we'll have a look at this Blackmore shot chart, because we can do it all over the floor.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Highly efficient too. 5 of 7 from the field. You see some work around the bucket as he's been getting on the offensive glass and slashes to the cup. And he knocked one down from long range as well. I like the fact he's getting to the free throw line. 4 of 5 from the line in that first half. An aggressive Luke Travers is good for Melbourne United.
But you know what else is good for the Melbourne United crowd? You don't need to play good basketball, you got to play sexy. And one man who does that, he's on the other team, Zylan Cheatham. He's been unstoppable in the first half. Some real action-loaded plays.
He is so much fun to watch. His ability to get out in transition is phenomenal. His defensive ability is there as well, and he's spacing it out, shooting the ball from the 3. Inside and out game is killing it.
He was a massive factor, especially in that second quarter. You talk about his energy source. He was bringing it every single possession at both ends of the floor, and that relentless energy and attack on the rim, I think, was massive for their comeback in that second term.
You look at his stats right here, 13 points, 5 of 11 efficient as well, 5 and 3, filling up the stat sheet on every level. The New Zealand Breakers, they play such an exciting style of basketball. Melbourne United, they love to slow the game down and really jack it up, but it's a struggle when a team's playing like this.
Yeah, for sure. They're getting up and down. He's also getting work done on the offensive glass. 8 offensive rebounds for the Breakers in that first half, and Dean Vickerman will be talking about that in the locker room right now.
Well, Dean Vickerman might also be talking about how on earth do we stop Parker Jackson-Cartwright, because he's leading from the front right now. An unbelievable first half.
Well, you're a very big fan. We know that. And so it was fun to see him get out there and do some things. 10 points, on track for another 20.9.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really his defensive pressure there. Picking up full court for Shea Illy. Early on in the game, they were able to get what they want, United was, but now he's into the ball and creating some turnovers.
Well, it's been 17 days on the road for the New Zealand Breakers. They've got a big second half coming up. They lead by 1.
Sunday afternoon hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's been an absolute treat with two of the competition's powerhouse going at it here at John Cain Arena this afternoon. Melbourne United and New Zealand. 1 point lead to the Breakers, and New Zealand's done a very good job keeping that man in his milestone game pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's 300 for Melbourne United. Chris Golding, just 2 points on 2 shots in that opening half. The key with defending Chris Goulding is to try to limit the shot attempts, and the Breakers did a good job of that in the opening half.
Absolutely. You could tell it was a focal point. They wanted to come in and take away some of those opportunities that he's been getting early on in the season.
Averaging 12 shots a game, 10 of those threes through his first 6, Chris Goulding. He's made 3 threes in 5 games in a row as Mattiang tries to start the second half off in style. Foul on the play going against Hukporti.
The quickness of Cheatham, the quick rip. Drives left, and he knows Mattiang's going to be open in the middle of the paint.
I think that's one thing that Zylan does very well is he gets into that paint and creates that rip with that advantage, but he's also looking for his teammates at the same time and finds Matthew in there underneath the basket.
Has he always been that athletic freak, Zylan Cheatham?
Craziest story is 14 years old. I think I'm a junior in high school, and he comes and works out with us. And he's just messing around. We're going through warm-up lines, and he gets up there and puts it between the legs and yams it. Kid's 14 years old doing this, and so we knew it at very early that he's going to be very special, and to be able to see it all come together now in his professional career is really great.
Making plenty of highlights here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, that is for sure. Is this the first of a doubleheader this afternoon? Sydney and Tassie coming away from 4 o'clock Eastern as Hukporti puts a lid on it, catching the lob.
Well, they're getting so good at that, Melbourne United, running those actions and putting the ball in the perfect spot for Ariel Hukporti. He knows it's coming, goes up and flushes it.
Lamb, Jackson Cartwright, McDowell-White, Mattiang and Cheatham out there. Cheatham tries to take it inside at 2 defenders and he's fouled on the way through.
It's the combination of the athleticism we were talking about, Joel, but also the strength. I mean, you sort of stir in all the skill that he has as well. The way I've described him, he's like the chess, the queen, sorry, on Modi Mayor's chessboard, because he can do so many things and he can move him around in so many different ways, and his versatile impact's well and truly on display today.
He had a couple of them last year in Brantley and Pardon with their defensive abilities at multiple positions last year as well, but Cheatham brings a different dynamic altogether. Makes a couple at the line as well. Back to a 3-point ball game. Biggest lead New Zealand have had, incidentally, in the game is that 3 points. Melbourne United got it out to 12 at 27-15 to start that second period. Goulding thought about it. Did he walk? Yes.
And again, the awareness from the Breakers, Cheatham in particular, to know dangerous shooter coming off. They jumps out and Goulding not able to let it fly.
35 on Tuesday, Chris Goulding. No early birthday party for him here this afternoon so far, at least. Might still be some time to celebrate later on in this ball game. Gilly out there with Goulding, Travers, Clark and Hukporti at the moment for United. Clark looks down low for the big man. Hukporti working on Mathiang, straight into his chest. Left-hand finish won't go. And a foul on the floor.
Yeah, really one of our first opportunities to see Ariel Hukporti on the block today. Gets to the middle, gets to his left hand, but Mathiang does a good job of contesting there and making that a difficult shot. But after that shot goes up, you got to turn around and box out.
That's a 4th personal foul on Mattiang, so he checks out. And Pinot, who played really well in that first half, comes back in.
Goulding in the corner, little head fake, gets inside, lefty finish around and out. It's not going Chris Goulding's way. And those aren't falling. Just not happening for him. An illegal screen call as Lamb and Goulding got tangled up. Anthony Lamb with 9 points on debut for the Breakers, 3 of 5 from the field. Goulding from downtown, never takes him long.
Aggressive to begin this third quarter. We spoke about him before we tipped off here. to begin the second half, and they've been running action for him, Sauce, and he's looking to get going.
And there's just a miscommunication from the Breakers. Zion Cheatham raises his hand up and says that was my bad. Anytime Chris Golden gets a look like that, you can almost guarantee it's going in.
Lamb at the other end tries his luck. Tie ball game at 47. You just knew where this possession was going. The hands of Golding. Abercrombie getting set to check back in for the Breakers. Hook Porty down low, working his way. Outside to Clark in the corner. He hits from downtown and United are back in front.
Big hit from Clark. The maturity from Ariel Hook Porty on display. Taking his time in the block. Getting fouled, but playing through it, playing to the whistle, finding his teammate on the weak side.
Back-to-back Mitsubishi Motors threes for United. Another chance here off the turnover. And the pass deflected, falls back into Breakers' hands.
And there we see Parker Jackson Cartwright's long arms being able to deflect the pass there. It's tremendous to see.
Lamb just cruises inside, collects his own miss, finishes with the left hand.
Offensive rebound. Steve Vickerman going nuts here on the sideline, and he's throwing Joe Luala-Chul back in the game as a result.
Hilly and Jackson Cartwright get tangled up. And Abercrombie come back in, Luala-Chul as well.
Porty's not happy. Here's the play. Ariel Vickerman stops him on the way down, and he's telling him, listen, mate, you've got to clean up the defensive glass. We spoke about it at halftime.
Inbound pass to Golding from the baseline. More experienced campaigners in Abercrombie and Golding, and Luala-Chul pins that from Jackson Cartwright against the backboard. Abercrombie gets to the corner. Krebs with the rebound for United. 50-49. Being trailed by one at the half. Jackson Cartwright pokes it loose. He's flying in transition again. Cheatham's there to support, and he gets fouled.
What you see on the Harvey Norman replay, Silent Cheatham just a little step off. That's where he raised his hand, said, oh, my bad, I got to be closer. This is the maturity I was talking about, the awareness from Ariel Hook Porty. His mum came and spent some time with him here recently. It's been a long time since she'd seen him, with Hook Porty staying in Melbourne to recover from his Achilles injury. And I'm told from people in Melbourne United, she said, hey, where did my boy go? You've turned him into a man. He's grown up a lot on and off the floor over these last couple of years.
Yeah, and absolutely, man. You can see the poise that he has out there, and just the confidence that he's really playing with. He knows how strong and how dominant he can be, and he's putting out great performances every night.
Well, only 21. So much ahead of him. There's Ariel Hook Porty. Couple of free throws. The Breakers back the lead. Cheatham's up to 17. Luala-Chul puts it on the floor. Cheatham knocks it away. A little bit of defense from the Breakers big. He sizes things up at the other end too. Gets all the way in, can't finish, rips it down, and then loses it. But it's going to stay in pink.
And I know he's over there kicking himself that he missed that lefty layup, but just great intent to be able to get the steal there and bring the ball up and make it a task and move to the basket. His versatility is on full display today.
Chance to see a bit more of Stavicius as well. Abercrombie spins inside. Golding poked it loose.
Good deep from Golding. Played against Abercrombie for a decade or so. He knows he's going to the spin.
402 games now for Tom Abercrombie. Have a look at Jackson Cartwright fly, and Pinot tips it home. And Parker Jackson Cartwright goes flying down the court and flying into the stand.
The speed from Cartwright is fun to watch. Here he is as he collects it, beats everyone down the floor. Now, he doesn't finish, but he engages the shot blocker, which takes Luala-Chul out of the rebounding contest, and the Breakers get the bucket.
And Liam, you said it early on, Dane Pinot's having a really big impact here with Matthew Yang in foul trouble.
So 53-50, New Zealand up by that margin. It's been a really high-quality contest this afternoon here at John Cain Arena. Multicultural round for Melbourne United. The second leg of a double-header for them, having won 3 in a row. New Zealand looking for their second win of the season. There's all kinds of people in the building. Let's go down to Felix.
Oh, you talk a multicultural game and you can't go anywhere else, and the boys from Sushi Mango. Now, out there today, we've got Germany, South Sudan, New Zealand. We don't have much Italian flavour. What's the number one thing that we've got to do to make not just John Cain, but game day a little bit more Italian?
Oh, I think a free salami for everyone in the place would start. That's a good start, don't you reckon, boys?
Absolutely. I reckon you should sprinkle some tomato plants around the court, mate. That'll do.
Concrete the whole court. I love it, eh? And you boys, not only the funniest people on Instagram, but now taking over courtside by day, Lygon Street by night. Johnny, Vince and Sam, how's the new restaurant doing?
It's doing good, it's doing good. Everyone's welcome. You can come and get a 1% off voucher, is that right? 1% off at Johnny, Vince and Sam's. Come and get it.
Love it. Thank you, boys. Follow them on Instagram. Get down to their restaurant. Unbelievable stuff.
They're very, very funny men, the guys from Sushi Mango. Free salami sounds good to me.
This sounds better than the 1% off?
Yep.
I'm getting a little hungry here myself, guys. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, you've got a cheeseburger coming on the way home, courtesy of Isaiah Liafa.
Hey, we all do.
Absolutely we do. Krebs couldn't hit. Stavicius pulls down the rebound. Runs straight to the corner. See if they can get him involved on offense here, the Breakers. Delaney's back into the game. Travers locks him up and comes away with it.
Third steal of the game for Travers.
Just the 7 minutes for Finn Delaney so far. Clark goes to the fadeaway, can't hit. Finn Delaney on the take. Offloaded it to Pinot. Stavicius with his first NBL points.
Feathery touch from the Lithuanian. Getting himself on the scoreboard, he's up and about.
Game high 5-point lead for New Zealand at 55-50. Golding offloads to Lualachul. Inside to Krebs.
Great patience there from Melbourne United, just picking them apart. JLA gets a short roll there and finds Krebs for an easy basket at the rim.
In a free-flowing affair all afternoon. Jackson Cartwright again, working his way into the heart of the defence.
The craftiness from Jackson Cartwright. A little look at his zone from Melbourne United and a straight line drive right into the heart of the defence and a shot fake at the final moment to get that one off.
Just keeps probing away, does PJC. Just incisions into that defence every single time down the floor.
And I know we talk about his quickness on the offensive end, but his hands have to be the quickest in the league this year, Lee.
Quickest feet and quickest hands.
Quickest extremities in the competition. You've just seen the graphic on your screen just there. Melbourne United won their past 8 against New Zealand here at John Cain Arena. They've actually won their past 9 against New Zealand in Victoria. A game in the middle there was played at the Bendigo Basketball Stadium. One of the great parts of the world, just quietly. Here's Golding from the corner. That's a great part of the world for him to be in.
Well, I think it's the number one thing on the whiteboard for the New Zealand Breakers, is try to keep Chris Golding under wraps. They completely lost him on that possession.
2 threes for Golding here in this third period. PJC can't hit. It's a 1 possession game. Illy all the way inside. Flung the circus shot up. He was fouled. He'll go to the line.
We see CG there just creating separation on the confusion, and you're not going to get a better look like that if you're Chris Golding, and he just knocks it down as he's done so often. And then there we just see Shea Illy does just a great job of putting PJC in jail, as we like to call it, and keeping him on his hip and getting to the basket there for the foul.
Just in advance of that free throw, Cody Mayor chewing Isaiah Liafa out, saying, hey, listen, you have to stay attached to Chris Golding. These are the moments in second halves, in close games, when Golding goes whackety-whack, timeout, and the Melbourne United crowd gets up and about.
Tied at 57. The two coaches this afternoon, such astute classy operators, but also the volume dial's just stuck somewhere between 9 and 10 for them at all times. Here's Delaney from outside. Whack! Finn Delaney connects on one.
Well, that's big for the Breakers, and it's huge for Delaney. When he's hitting from long range, it just adds a complete another dynamic for him and his squad.
First field goal attempt for Finn Delaney, and he gets it to go. Good work from Matiang to handle the loose ball. Liafa across the lane, scoops it home, and he'll go to the line to add one.
A lot of contact down there on the other end, but just a good job of the Breakers just getting down in transition. Here we see Vucevic just get the pass out to Delaney, another guy you don't want to leave open, and then Liafa downhill likes the advantage and has the poise to be able to take the contact and finish there.
Chris Golding left a little frustrated by that. And after Melbourne United drew back level, Breakers get 3 points on consecutive possessions and open up a game-high 6-point lead with 2 minutes and change remaining here in the third period. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, South East Melbourne star Alan Williams with you. Felix von Hoff courtside. Krebs takes some contact. And that's another foul on Mathiang. And that'll be 5 for Mango.
Modi Mayor brings Zion Cheatham to the score bench. It's been a frustrating night at the office for Mathiang. Man, just 7, maybe nearly 8 minutes of playing time. And every time he went near it tonight, he picked up a whistle.
That is tough. I've been in situations like that before, and I know how frustrating that can be, but thankfully, Dane Pinot has come in for the Breakers here and had a really good impact on the game, and now we'll get to see Zion Cheatham there at the 5.
Former teammate of yours, of course, Dane Pinot.
Yeah, one of the best teammates I've ever had and one of the best guys around the NBL. I think everybody could attest to how great of a person he is, and he's a really good player too. Really competes on the offensive glass and is a very smart basketball player as well.
Delaney jacks up another triple. That won't go, trying to make it back-to-back threes. Golding comes rolling into Vucevic. Modi Mayor gives Vaughan Mabry the look at the other end of the floor.
He's going with the come on man argument.
And then just the head tilt and the stare from Modi.
I'm not sure that convinced Vaughan to change the call.
No, it usually doesn't with Vaughan. He's pretty certain about what he's doing. He's one of the best refs we have here in the NBL, and no doubt he knows what he's doing.
Hey, fellas, while we're at it here, late in the third quarter, shout out to Matthew Dellavedova. No doubt watching on from home in the recovery process from that concussion suffered last week. Shout out to you, legend.
Yeah.
A great of the game, and we can't wait to see you back out here on the floor.
Wishing you the best for sure.
Absolutely had a great start to the season, did Daly. Comes with such credentials. You know, that's been a bit of an ongoing concern for him as well. Concussions. Hope it's a swift and speedy recovery for Daly.
Golding checks out. Good third quarter from him. We spoke about how he was kind of quiet in that second term. He's now the second Melbourne United player up in double digits.
60 to 63. Minute 30 remaining here in this third period. Lakers took the lead late in the second and have held it throughout the third. A couple of ties in there as well. Dal White can't hit. Tries to strip it away from Hukporti, who dives on the loose ball. They're all just fighting for it. Looks like the All Blacks at the Rugby World Cup. A big-time hustle
from Hukporti. And Vaughan, Modi Mayor's really going nuts. What's...
No one had possession.
It was a shot clock issue. That's why we stopped the game. Look at the hustle from Hukporti. McDowell White pulls it away. Loose ball. First guy on the deck. Gets after it, finds a teammate. Melbourne and are off and away.
When your biggest guy is the first person on the floor, you know you got a shot. That's just amazing hustle there from the next star.
The game rich in excitement so far. Third quarter alone.
I don't understand. Can you explain to me?
Cody Mayor still in dialogue with Vaughan Mabry. United hit the lead at 50 to 47. Zealand took it back. We were tied again at 57. Now it's a three-point game. First leg of a doubleheader on your Sunday afternoon. Biafra gets in there to intercept the pass and can only knock it straight into the Breakers bench.
Biafra's got the message about staying connected to shooters.
There's Peter Hallier sitting courtside. Australian funny man.
Brought the ball in today, Joel.
Of course, traded one of the great characters in Australian comedy history in Brian Strawny Strawn. And Illy goes to work, gets the turnaround to go.
Good D, but better offense there from Shea Illy. Someone who struggled shooting the ball early on in this NBL competition has really come into his own in these last couple of games.
40 seconds remaining in this third period. 1 point ball game between two of the competition's heavyweights. Cheatham inside. Kicks it back out to Lamb, who has it poked away. Familiar with Strawny, Sauce?
One more time, I'm sorry about that.
Are you familiar with Strawny?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I got to do some more Australian comedic research.
Cheeseburger on the way home, then into YouTube when you get back.
There it is.
Here's Cheatham on the take. Good defense from Hook 40.
Sauce is like, you talking English?
What's going on here?
Spanish like David Lowry last night.
What's going on?
I don't even think one more time would have helped him, Liam. Time ticking down in this third period. 1 point game. Melbourne United trying to take the lead into three-quarter time. Clark gets inside and makes the buzzer. Once, twice, 3 times.
So tough there from Ian Clark. That's what they brought him in for. His ability to be able to make clutch shots, take guys off the bounce. We saw it right there from him.
We head into three-quarter time, and Ian Clark gives Melbourne United the spark. They lead at 64 to 63. John Cain Arena is rocking. It's a 1 point game at three-quarter time. Here's our Mitsubishi Motors Melbourne United fan of the game, Errol Hughes. He's got everyone in this arena saying, oh, Errol, I would give anything just to be like him. He gets a signed ball that he can take home. There is 1 point the spread as we turn for home. This has been some sort of contest source.
Wow, what an amazing game we've had so far here, and the atmosphere is so electric. It's so much fun to be a part of this.
Gilly can't get it to go. And the Breakers coming off. Long travel, of course. Haven't played in 2.5 weeks here in the NBL. This will be a real test of their resolve and what their energy levels are like here late in this game.
Their energy levels look fantastic. And it starts with Zylan Cheatham at both ends of the floor. We've loved Parker Jackson-Cartwright. 12 points. He's got 5 steals just quietly. Talking about those quick hands. But Cheatham is just continuing to put pressure on this Melbourne United defense as he runs the floor at a really high level.
Another thing to talk about there as well is his voice, his presence, his voice defensively, his voice on the offensive end. He's picking up his teammates, he's talking to them, and that's creating that energy and buzz around this Breakers team right now.
So the call just being reviewed in the replay centre. The foul originally on Hook Porty for the contact. Mabry just chatting things over with Dean Vickerman. What do you think the difference is going to be down the stretch here between these two teams? What's going to be the one thing that might separate them from one another?
Honestly, it's been so closely and tightly contested. Both teams defending at a really high level. I think it's going to come down to shot making. You know, as simple as that sounds, can the Breakers start to knock a few down? You know, they're 4 of 11 from long range. Can they continue to execute? And on the flip side, can Melbourne United get some of those guys like Ian Clark and Chris Golding loose to try to tick that scoreboard over?
Cheatham splits them at the line. Once again, we are tied. 64 apiece. If you cast your mind back to quarter time, it was this man who beat the buzzer. That counted. At halftime, it was Shea Ellie who beat the buzzer. That one didn't count. At three-quarter time, it was Gary Clark who beat the buzzer. That counted. Ellie gets inside, and it won't go. So odds are, this is going to come down to a buzzer beater.
That's interesting logic.
Maybe call me optimistic, please.
It's been, here's hoping it does, because it's a game that deserves a grandstand finish.
Absolutely.
You can hear Mody Mayor talking things through with Parker Jackson-Cartwright. You've got 4 fouls. You know, you've been so active, your hands have been so active with those 5 steals. That needs him to play smart the rest of the way.
And that's where we'll have to find that balance, right, of taking that gamble and reaching for the ball and getting a couple of steals. Obviously, he has 5 on the night tonight, but those 4 fouls are definitely going to be more damaging to the Breakers than the 5 steals will be positive for them.
Bowen with a big O board. Clark with a massive hit from outside.
Kick out 3 off an offensive rebound. It's the shot all long-range shooters love to fire off the most.
Jackson-Cartwright continues to probe at the other end. Illy comes up with the steal for United. Porty runs the floor and rocks the rim.
Timeout New Zealand. Hook Porty up and about. Melbourne United on a roll. The speed and athleticism of the next star in transition on display.
$70-64, and that is an incredible way to start this final term for Melbourne United.
Well, it starts with the Ian Clark 3-ball source and then the push from Shea Ellie, and he knew he had Hook Porty on that left lane the whole way down the floor.
When your big man is able to run the floor like Porty runs the floor, all you got to do is throw it up anywhere close and he's going to put it down. And that's just another example of his growth and his skill set. He's like a gazelle out there when he's running on the break.
This is the guy who tore his Achilles last year, just over 12 months ago.
That's a great call.
It's incredible.
It is incredible to watch what he just did there out on the floor and think back to the fact that that long road that he's traveled. Remarkable. And that Melbourne United high-performance staff, a tip to the hat to him.
6-point ball game out of the snooze timeout. minute 6 gone here in this term. Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman replay of the big fella running the lane.
Yeah, and there it is. Just Shea Ellie putting it somewhere close to the basket. And 41, they one call because he got a little contact there. But like you say, just his persistence, his work ethic, his mental strength to go 12 months ago, tearing an Achilles, one of the worst injuries you could possibly have as a basketball player, to come back and to be able to show that athleticism and that speed and that grace in which he runs with is truly phenomenal. And a lot of props goes to him, the staff here at Melbourne United, and everybody around it.
So a 6-1 start here in the final quarter for United. They've got a 6-point lead at 70-64. You know the Breakers will find a way to force the conversation to start again. Delaney had a productive third term. Ooh. Took it right into Hukporti. Foul off the ball.
Here we go, fellas. Next play. Here we go.
In fact, it's going to be shots. It can't have been shots. Parker Jackson-Cartwright was a mile away from the hoop.
So we've been talking about Dane Pinot a little bit here, fellas. Really big minutes for him right now. Max Yank fouled out, Cheatham having a rest, and Hukporti full of confidence and energy right now.
Jackson-Cartwright in the corner. Illy goes flying past. PJC can't hit the three. McDowell White rips it down. Lamb on the move. Underneath. Great pass. Pinot can't finish.
Tough there. Pinot does a good job of creating more advantages there and another possession for the Breakers, but just can't finish at the rim.
Ian Clark comes up empty at the other end. Will McDowell White can get the Breakers through a set. PJC goes baseline. Another foul on the floor. That's on Clark. Porty's got 4 fouls for Melbourne United. Ian Clark's just picked up his third. Jackson-Cartwright's got 4 fouls, and Odi Mayor told him earlier, we heard that. Do you understand me? Do not foul again. Lamb's able to get that to go.
Easy offense. Then Vickerman furious about it, and a good find from Will McDowell White underneath.
70-66. Melbourne United established themselves as one of the main contenders in this young NBL24 season. Here's Cameron from outside. And the Breakers are giving them all they can handle. The touchdown pass from Lamb's intercepted by Ellie. Cameron back the other way. The circus shot will go.
My goodness. I don't know if he meant to make that one, but it sure did look good as Clint Cameron gets there with a little bit of a hesitation and a flick kiss off the glass.
That's one he might have mastered in the backyard up against Dad as Joe Luala-Chul sends that one back. Ellie's in the open floor, loses the handle. Golding and Cheatham check back in, two of the key protagonists for their respective teams.
Here's that finish from Clint Cameron. Just gets on the attack and then loses his footing slightly, but the wherewithal and the English off the glass, and a big bucket in this fourth quarter.
The youngster is a very experienced campaigner, is Clint Cameron, coming off 3 years at UC Riverside. Dow White can't get it to go. Bowen's pulled it down.
Again, the touch from Will McDowell White just not there. It wasn't there over the course of those NBA games, and he's now 1 for 7. Just 2 points. Now, he's got the 7 assists. He's been, really aggressive, making plays as Cheatham finishes underneath, but just can't finish that floater right now.
7 of 16 in the one NBL game he did play for the US trip, Will McDowell White. What a great season he had last year. All NBL level player. Golding outside to Illy. That one's way off. Krebs can't track it down. 72-68. Joel Peterson, Southeast Melbourne star Alan Williams, Liam Santa Maria with you in commentary. Sydney and Tassie coming up next. Jack Everett, Derek Rucker and Brad Rosen to bring you that game. The second leg of a doubleheader on Sunday afternoon.
Man, that's going to be a good one too. 4 real high-level teams going at it today. Luke Travers has checked back in midway through this fourth quarter. He was quiet in that third term. He was really the standout performer, despite what Felix says about PJC at halftime. But went a little quiet and now comes back in a really important moment with his team up 4.
Yeah, would love to see Travers come in now and be as aggressive as he was to begin the game. Him being aggressive downhill is going to open up some three-point opportunities for CG to get going here in the fourth quarter.
Didn't have a rebound or a field goal attempt in that third term, did Luke Travers. Like 22 minutes just under so far in this game. You know what an important part he is, the West Aussie, the Dean Vickerman squad. 4-point game, Breakers on the ball. Nearly takes it away from McDowell White. Jackson Cartwright's been terrific. Again, he just weaves his way into the defense and hits from the mid-range.
He is just so shifty coming off of that ball screen. Again, you know he might pump fake. He pump fake a cast a couple of times there, and he just stopped and popped a little floater at the basket.
This Melbourne United crowd's been energised throughout. They've really brought some atmosphere. Their team needs them at the moment. Illy, can he lift them? Just doesn't fall. Jackson Cartwright soaring down the floor again.
Man, he's on the attack. Great push in transition. Hey, for young point guards watching, this is textbook from Jackson Cartwright. Gets the ball back, the ball screen comes, the big defender's in the drops. Watch him snake the screen here. So he just turns the corner, back in front of the screen. His defense is all caught up and he just pulls up from mid-range.
Almost gives you an opportunity to use the same screen twice. And that's the kind of heads-up play that he can deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. Melbourne play a drop coverage on defense with JLA being back at the basket. So the guards have to have that pace and patience like Parker Jackson Cartwright there on that last play.
Both free throws fall for PJC. Tied at 72. What a welcome return this has been to the NBL for the Breakers this afternoon. Can they go all the way? Luala Chul trying to do his best to make sure it doesn't happen.
Nothing you can do there if you're Dave Vano. You force him into a shot off the left leg, but as we've seen in the past and past NBL campaigns, JLA is just a bucket.
Halfway through this final quarter, so much to come. So much to come from this man.
Mid-range not dead. Not here in the NBL with Jackson Cartwright. Crunch time, he ties it up. Getting work done with the pull-up.
He's got 18, Cheatham's got 20. Travers with 15 for United to lead them. Golding from the corner. Bang! Massive hit from Chris Golding.
I don't know if he even saw the basket. It's just that muscle memory. He shot it so many times. We talk about the 300 game here with United, but
oh, big block from Luala Chul. Travers is outrunning. Krebs in support. Taken off the rim by Cheatham. Luala Chul there to clean it up.
And these are the moments. Now the challenge is there for New Zealand to ride this wave and fight their way back. But here are the moments, time and time again, in close games at John Cain Arena with Melbourne United. Chris Golding makes big shots in big moments.
Hang on.
6 games in a row now with at least 3 threes for Chris Golding.
And when he hits them in these types of situations, midway through a fourth quarter, it just energizes the crowd, it energizes his teammates. The block down the other end, they're on the rim, and things start to roll. And the challenge is now there for the Breakers to say, all right, take a deep breath, let's get a good shot, wrestle back the momentum.
And this lead out to 6 at the start of this period. Gives Melbourne United now sits at 5. Led by as many as 12 in the ball game. New Zealand led by 6 in that third period. Melbourne closed with the final 7 points of the third quarter. started nicely here. 79-74 to the hosts. In front of a raucous crowd here at John Cain Arena. What can the Breakers do from here? McDowell White inside the Cheatham, loses it. Clark's back the other way. Lualachul like the matchup against Pinot. A few words being said inside.
Silent! Here we go, fellas!
Cheatham and Lualachul still going at it.
That was aggressive. He's really confident right now, and then a little extracurricular. And then that right there was aggressive from Lualachul.
Absolutely. Just not liking Silent Cheatham there taking the ball from him. And they come together, and hopefully we can get this all resolved. And it's just a part of the competition, you know. Both teams out there want to win, and hopefully we can keep it clean and finish this game out with everybody still on the floor.
Silent Cheatham looking over at Modi Mayor saying, hey, he headbutted me. Lualachul just leaning in. Love the passion and the intensity as long as it's done in the right way.
So are they going to take a look at that at all?
I think Modi Mayor certainly wants them to. It's going to be a baseline ball here for Illy. 3:46 remaining. United up by 5 and with the rock. Screen from Lualachul. He rolls and rolls straight over Jackson Cartwright, lays it home. And he hands United a 7-point lead.
And that is the 5th foul on Parker Jackson Cartwright. You see JLA come down and maybe a little bit of movement there from PJC. That's what the officials called there and saw on the blocking foul. What do you think, Liam?
He's tough whistle.
One shot, go! One shot, go!
Checks out, fouls out with 18 points, 5 assists, 5 steals. Meanwhile, Lualachul having a massive impact in crunch time. United out by 8.
They've scored those 8 points to build the margin consecutively. It was tied at 74. It's now 82-74. Lamb with the leaner. He'll go to the strike. What do they need to do from here, the Breakers? What's the thing that's been lacking in these last couple of moments?
They got to get good shots. They've had a little bit of erraticness on offense and had some turnovers that have led to the fast break. And obviously the crowd here is definitely playing a factor. So you want to get to the free throw line. There's no 8-point plays out there. And so you got to take it one step at a time, one possession at a time. And it starts by getting good shots.
Defensively, Sauce, they've got a problem to solve here in terms of Lualachul because he wants it in the block right now. He feels like nobody can cover him. He certainly felt like Dane Pinot couldn't. Now it's Silent Cheatham who has that matchup.
Delaney out there with Cheatham, Lamb, McDowell, White and Liafa. For the Breakers, Lualachul, Clark, Travers, Golding. JLA for United. Clark goes baseline. Through some help from the defense. Illy kept it alive. Golding rises up. Oh, Chris Golding! Absolutely incredible!
That was special. Something out of nothing.
You talked about it, Liam. That's the game breaker. Now the crowd's into it, and
Cheatham finds the answer at the other end.
That's the answer you need if you're a Breakers fan. You needed another 3 to go down, and hopefully you can get a stop on this end.
They'll have a look at the Golding 3 to see if it was 3 or 2. So, at the moment, it stands as a 6-point game, but that's a big answer from Cheatham. Illy inside, and a pushing foul down low.
Jeez. Look at this from Golding. Broken play, clock winding down, just as you say them. And look at the goose step. He likes it himself. And then cheat them in the corner with the answer.
So timeout, 2:25 remaining. This one going all the way at John Cain Arena, 85-79. What a start to our Sunday of hoops this has been. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria and Alan Williams with you. Felix von Hoff is with us courtside. The New Zealand Breakers do some great stuff on socials. I didn't expect to see Felix involved in some of it over the last few days. Have you got anything to say about this, Felix?
Oh, I can smell a stitch up from a mile away. Let's hit me with it.
The most famous person on my phone is probably LeBron James. Dave Bernard.
Probably those.
Felix von Hoff, The Bachelor. The most famous person and the coolest person I know. Hold on, let me think.
The most famous person in Dane Pinot's phone is you, Felix.
Oh, that is a blight on Dane Pinot. I'll tell you what, I lived with Dane for 2 years and I could end him right now, but I won't. I'll be a good friend and I'll let him live another day.
You're the bigger man.
Is that cash for comment type scenario, Felix?
No, I don't have the cash these days for that.
Hey, we talked earlier, fellas, about what might separate these teams. We talked about shot making. The deep three from Clark, the triple from Golding in the corner, and that one was all kinds of tough sauce on a broken play.
Yeah, incredible. When the game is close and tight, you know what United want to do. They want to get the ball to CG. They want Ian Clark to be a part of it. And now with JLA back, they have a real presence inside that just draws so much of the defense in and opens it up for those shooters.
So Shea Ellie's at the line out of the timeout. John Cain Arena, that's been a very loud place this afternoon, falls almost silent. Crowd watching and waiting. Just biding their time, hoping they get another chance to erupt in these last 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Both teams here in the penalty, so we'll see how this last 2 minutes is called by the officials.
Great to have the thoughts of South East Melbourne big man Alan Williams with us this afternoon. In the Hungry Jacks NBL, Travers with the takeaway. Ellie was there for the offload. Cody Mayor wanted a walk call. United will pull it out and get a good look. Clark with the leaner, around and out. As close as you'll go to going down. Lamb gets his way inside. Cheatham's in the corner again with another big three.
Oh my, the window and door are both still ajar. That might have closed it if Clark had finished that floater. And now it's back to a two-possession game.
Massive 5-point swing.
We talked about the poise from Anthony Lamb here. Doesn't force it, slows down, and finds Zylan Cheatham open in the corner.
Again, we see Zylan there knocking down that three. It's an element of his game that he's tirelessly worked on to get better at. Now he's getting the opportunity to show it at a high level.
Hey, if he's hitting that three like that, he should be back in the league.
Easily.
He's got 26 points here, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a block. Enormous afternoon from Zylan Cheatham.
And he hasn't missed a three. He's 3 of 3 from downtown.
Came into the game shooting 40%. That thing's going up now, you know.
So one at the line for Travers. He's got 16. Golding's got 16. All 5 Melbourne United players out there at the moment, all in double digits. Cheatham leads all scorers with 26. Underneath, here's Delaney. They keep cutting into this lead, the Breakers.
Great find, Will McDowell-White. Now, can they get a stop or two?
Luella Chul, Clark, Travers, Golding, Illy, the crunch time lineup for Melbourne United. Illy gets inside and floats it home.
I would say if you're Modi Mayor, that's the shot you want United to take, but Shea Elley just great poise and great touch at the basket.
Delaney at the other end can't hit. I would say if I was you, that's the shot that I'd want to take.
Oh, sure. I love a good floater now.
Illy almost lost it, keeps it alive. 6-point game, under a minute remaining. United looking for a 4th win in a row and a 9th consecutively here over New Zealand. Clark can finish it, and does! Ian Clark shuts the door on the thing. He says, good night, New Zealand, and makes it a 9-point game.
Massive couple of possessions from Melbourne United. The feathery touch from Shayeli was all kinds of clutch. And then the awareness here on the attack. Here he is, gets a little stuck. Bam, I've got Ian Clark open in the corner. And Chris Goulding knew it was down. Watch Goulding on the left of your screen. He turned around the moment he caught the ball.
He turned around before the shot even went up, Liam. That's a lot of confidence in your guys, and you can see they're just oozing with that confidence right now, going inside out, inside for JLA, outside for CG and Ian Clark. Great combination to win.
That's a real takes one to know one moment, isn't it? Chris Goulding knows what they feel like when they go up, and he knows what they look like when they go down.
And this is what makes them such the favourites in my book for the championship at this point. Now, there's other good teams. The Phoenix, you guys are getting going. This New Zealand team, they're going to be tough. Sydney are rolling right now. But you combine the defense, and it's been the best in the league to this point, with this kind of crunch time shot making. Loala Chul and Okpoti in the middle, and it's not to say they're going to win it, but for me, they're the team to beat right now.
So what does this say about New Zealand then on the flip side of that? If Melbourne United are the team to beat, New Zealand coming off a suboptimal build-up, have you been impressed by them? Is this what you thought they'd deliver?
They're right there. This is 17 days on the road, coming back from America. Yep. Most teams fold over in these types of games. They're right there.
I think once they get to playing with each other again in the NBL format, PJC will have some better outings and not pick up as many fouls as we see Zylan there at the basket. They're going to come into their own, and they'll be up there in the thick of things with the best teams in the NBL this season.
Trying to keep them alive. Foul on Delaney. Again, Modi Mayor is incredulous at that. Delaney says that, Ken, you realise I'm not trying to foul him.
Well, he thought the official thought he was doing the right thing. So he thought they were trying to foul, and he was just giving them the whistle.
So Ian Clark will go to the line. 16 points, 4 of 5 from downtown, including that massive corner 3. Couple of steals, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. First trip to the stripe tonight. But he's been as advertised. Such a good decision maker. And then when the opportunity is there, he can deliver.
And then we see here on the box score, 5 guys from United in double figures. That's just a credit to their ability to share the love on the offensive end.
That time Delaney definitely meant to foul. And Loala Chul pulls down the rebound. And a few thousand Melbourne United fans stand up here at John Cain Arena. 5th foul for Finn Delaney. 17.5 minutes on return to the lineup. 7 points on 2 of 4 shooting. That 9-point lead continues. Of course, this is the first leg of our doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL this afternoon. Sydney and Tassie coming your way. Jack Evra and Derek Rucker. Brad Rosen to bring you that one very shortly indeed. This one's gone all the way down to the end here at John Cain Arena. Loala Chul knocks them both in. Tom Coppins gets some run to Melbourne United, so too Zach Triplett. An 11-point lead for United.
And Joel, I think it's safe to say that JLA is back. 16 points on the night. Really coming to his own on the block. Ultra aggressive, and you see that passion and rage that he plays with. It's really important for this United team to go very far.
It's so important for their ceiling, what they can do this season, this Melbourne United side.
Yeah, you spoke about those 5 guys in double figures. All of them between 16 and 18 points. The 4 guys with 16, Ian Clark with highly efficient 18, 4 of 5 from 3. Just the spread of scoring, elite from United today.
And this is without Delhi in the lineup. Imagine when he's back inserted. This is going to create so many nightmares for opposing teams.
Breakers are playing this one out. They're not a side that gives up easily.
Well, the odds are stacked against them from this point, I would have thought. Might be smarter in terms of the point spread and overall percentage just to let that one go there from Anthony Lamb.
He misses the first. He's had a good night. Didn't quite come down to the buzzer beater I thought it might. He got a grandstand finish nonetheless. This man's been involved in a couple of those moments.
Good foul.
Absolutely. Dal White can try and beat the buzzer to end the game. He misses. And Melbourne United continue their dominance over the Breakers here at John Cain Arena. 9 in a row over New Zealand on their home floor. 4 wins for Melbourne United. They move to 6-1, and Ian Clark hit the dagger in the corner, and he's the Footlocker player of the game.
33 points from Melbourne United in that final term. Huge. Ian Clark, massive, 4 of 5 from long range. Chris Golding with some big ones, and Shea Ili and Joe Luala-Chul also huge in the 4.
What a game. 97-88, Melbourne win over the Breakers.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where that man right there, CG43, was huge late in a 9-point win for Melbourne United. Top of the table they remain But that was not the story of the game. The New Zealand Breakers off a 17-game road stint right now, including trips to America and back. They have not seen New Zealand soil in 17 days, and they took it to Melbourne United. Unfortunately for them, running out of legs at the end, but it was Melbourne United who did this one by committee. Luke Travers, fantastic on both ends of the floor. Ian Clark pouring in 18 points, and Chris Golding, the heart and soul of this team. Well, he had 16 himself with Shea Healy. But coming up after this one, of course, we move straight to Sydney Kings taking on New Zealand. This one's set to be a cracker, a top 4 clash coming up right now.